Hello, my darling cherubs. You are having 2 videos inflicted upon you this week. The reason being, I just had to share with you just the most extraordinary, uplifting, tremendous 10th birthday show of Autism's Got Talent. That took a lot for me to say that, not just because it's a massive sentence, which I'm used to, but because I just feel really, really emotional. I've just got back from Cornwall, where I've spent the whole weekend. It's the 10th birthday celebrations of Autism's Got Talent for Anna Kennedy Online, which I am so proud and still amazed that I'm the Wellbeing Charity Ambassador for. And I supported one of the acts there, Lauren Lovejoy, whose voice needs to be worldwide. It really, really does. It was phenomenal. She raised the roof, as did Kieran Lee and all the other acts who were there. It was gorgeous to see all the old faces after COVID and be part of that family that believe so fiercely and so utterly in all the different layers to young people, whether you're neurodiverse or not. And they raised the roof. They raised the roof. And the next show is at the Mermaid Theatre in London on Saturday, October the 16th. And if you can get there, please do. If you really want to know about autism, please go. If you are a teacher or a therapist or a doctor or another professional working with anybody who is differently wired, you know, there's no deficits, there's no disorders, not in my world, not with the kids I see. And some of them have really severe challenges. But you know what? We all have challenges and we all have gifts inside us. And it was the most emotional, amazing event. There was one little boy who performed there. And I even had goose pimples in my hair. His voice, it was like listening to an angel. And you just know you're looking at stars in the making. You are looking at people who are going to go far. Because they are here, because they're different, and they are here to move our world forwards and to change it, to shape it, like my own son has. You know, he was written off, and this is how my whole journey started. He was written off, as some of you will know if you've been to any of the many free talks that I've given, advocating and educating and flying that flag for people who are so often not heard, who don't have a voice. And when we all get together, so many of us who believe like this, it's incredible. And there was another young lad there, only about 12, and he did the most incredible performance, solo singing and acting. And when he saw his name up on that board in lights, Taryn, a really lovely name, I will never forget it. And 3 times he looked back and was pointing at the screen behind him and saying, "That's my name, that's my name." And all the kids who were there, I wish you could see my goose pimples because they're bigger than my head. If you could have only been there. And all the other kids supporting kids, you know, that's what really got me. I'm nearly in tears saying all this. It really got me. You know, some of the kids never met each other, but the ones who knew this Taryn were stamping their feet on the floor and saying, "Taryn, Taryn, Taryn." And when he finished his act, Phil, who does everything voluntarily for Kids Are Us at the theatre in St Ives, amazing work, amazing work. He, you know, to see Taryn and his performance, and at the end, Phil said, and this is no disrespect to you teachers out there, because I understand the huge pressures you're under and the lack of training, the lack of education that you have about kids who are different. But Phil said, if only your teachers could see you now. And before he joined the theatre, this young lad didn't know where he belonged. School is a nightmare. It's a walking purgatory, and the theatre is his family. And this is what Phil does for so many of the kids, and Anna too, by celebrating things, gifts, strengths that would never be able to be discovered at school, even if you're neurotypical, to be honest. It's a sausage meat factory. No offence, but I'm on a bandwagon about this, I really am. And I just I just feel sorry for the teachers who want to teach with passion and who can't. And I feel sorry for the kids who slip under the radar, like Taryn, or get labelled and go nowhere and get this kind of black stain on their name at school. And, you know, there was another amazing company there, Studio 4, and it embraces the neurodiverse, you know, kids with ADHD, kids with pathological demand avoidance. And if you'd have seen them, you would have been in tears. There are currently no tissues available in St Ives, and I'm really sorry to the locals. That was my fault. I think I went to every shop and got stack loads. Next time I'm just going to take a big bath sheet. But honestly, that is how touching it is. And I have never been prouder of being part of something so special. What Phil and Anna put together is phenomenal. And I realise, you know, I read a post recently where a parent or somebody with a child who has really severe autism said, you know, don't tell everybody they're going to be superheroes, because they're not. Well, look at the neurotypical world. We're not all superheroes there. And a lot of people walk an A to Z, flatline, beige life, let's be honest. But you know what? We do all have something we're good at. We all, however severely affected we are, however hard our challenge is, we all have something that lights us up. And I know this because I go into profound and multiple learning disability units. I go and work with blind kids. I work with deaf kids, you know, and they have gifts. And I'm just so blessed in my life to be a part of that. I'm sorry, this is a really emotional one. But when you go to something like that, and all my 4 children have been, it really tells you what it's about. And I actually think going to things like that should be part of teacher training. You know, and there was one young person who performed there whose parents don't accept he's neurodiverse, so they had to be very careful, you know, how they put that across. And I get that. I remember when I got my own diagnosis for my son, I remember crying, and I'm ashamed to say that, but I did. It was this terrible A word that was full of fear and full of impossibilities. So do what Audrey Hepburn did, all of you out there, parents, teachers, professionals, but especially you kids. Take that word impossible and pop a little apostrophe in between the I and the M, because that's I'm possible. And that's what all of you are. And I've posted a YouTube link of the entire show, which someone kindly recorded, on my online Facebook group for therapies, for families and children. Take a look. Take a look. And if you are a producer, someone in the music industry, take a look. These kids are phenomenal. They're dedicated. They're passionate. They're perfectionists. And those are some of the strengths that being neurodiverse brings. And I know that on my own journey. So good luck to all of you for the next Autism's Got Talent 10th anniversary celebrations, 10th birthday celebrations at the Mermaid Theatre in London. And please, if any of you can get there, you know, not only are you supporting a charity, but you're believing in these kids. And for some of them, if they didn't have this, like my own son, they'd go down the suicidal route. My own son's he's just about to start a PhD, and he was totally written off by his school. For those of you who've never heard my talks or my BBC radio interviews, believe, believe, believe. Your kids are amazing. So if you can get to the Mermaid Theatre, just go and see that potential. Go and see what outside the 4 walls of schools, even a specialist school, will bring you, and explore those avenues, because your kids do have gifts. And the biggest thing you can do to help them is to believe. And it's well worth it. And I know that from my own journey. So on that note, good luck, Anna. Good luck, Phil. Not that you need it. I should say break a leg, apparently. But I don't want you to do that either. But you'll all be brilliant, and I'm rooting for you. And I wish I could be in London. I honestly wish I could. Sadly, I won't be. But for those of you who can get there. Even if you hike a lift, get there. Take care, everybody. I'm so proud to be a part of this amazing charity. Bye-bye.